Life is complex, so is our mental health. It cannot be understood by diagnosis alone. Our philosophy is treat the person, not the mental illness.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Humanizing Mental Health. This is Jeremy Alcorn, and I am flying solo today. In fact, at this point in time, Trent doesn't even know that I'm recording this episode. And of course, out of respect for my co-host and co-creator, I'm going to run this past him to have a listen before it is published. I just actually couldn't wait. So today, I had an experience, and I thought that this experience may really be beneficial to some other people out there that might have times in which they are significantly triggered, and they don't know why. Because if we can figure out what it is that triggered us, and we can connect the dots together, it is amazing how much you can get things to settle down. When we're triggered in terms of a trauma-related trigger, and I'm being specific with my words because I don't have post-traumatic stress disorder. And at the same time, I had one of the symptoms today that is associated with post-traumatic stress disorder. And so it's not only in post-traumatic stress disorder that people have an experience where it feels like an event is happening all over again. Anytime someone has had some sort of critical incident that has left a trauma mark in their body, then memories that are associated with those physical sensations can pop back up in the future when they have had an experience that is similar. So let me tell you what happened today. So today, I went in for an appointment with my optometrist. They have this awesome new technology that they're using that can help treat chronic dry eyes. And I've had chronic dry eyes for years and have had to take medications and different things. The optometrist had put plugs in some of the drains in my eyes to increase the moisture to diminish the effect of the dry eyes. And then the optometrist indicated to me, hey, wait, this isn't a tear issue. You can see that this is an oil issue. At the bottom of your eyes, you have glands that secrete oil that mix with your tears. And to have that mix right is important. In fact, in therapy, I feel other people's pain, and I would cry with them, consistently, probably multiple times a day. And the amount of water in my eyes actually worsened the dryness because they didn't have the balance with the oil. So I went, okay, what do we do with that? And he said, well, I've got this laser and this laser therapy that stimulates that gland and gets it moving properly. So put this into context. In 2004, I went to get LASIK surgery done. So I didn't have to wear glasses anymore. And when I got into there to get the surgery done, they said, actually, the flap that we would create in your eye, your cornea is too thin. That might tear. So that's not a good idea. So they did a different procedure where they cut the surface of my eye off. Then they lasered it. And then they placed a contact lens over my eyes that I needed to wear for a certain number of days to act like a Band-Aid while my eyes grew back, while the surface of my eyes grew back. And it left me with vision that was better than 20/20. But it also left me with dry eyes to the point at which I would have sores in my eyes. And when I saw an ophthalmologist, the ophthalmologist said, if we don't do something about this, then you will be blind from your eyelids rubbing across your eyeball and scratching it over and over and over again. So clearly needed to do something, and I went through some medications and so forth. That's not what this episode is about. So coming back to today, giving you that context. So then today, I go in. The person that was running the laser gives me some information. They say, this is what you can expect. And you can have this kind of pinchy, painful, kind of zappy feeling, but it won't last very long. And then they did the first one, and immediately I had this smell like burnt dog hair. And they asked about the pain level, and I went, no, it's okay. Maybe a 1 out of 5. And then they continued, and my body just went into a panic. I couldn't handle the pain, and I didn't understand. I didn't understand why. Because I've been in pain all the time for the last 7 years. In fact, I said to the person, I was like, I'm no stranger to pain. And when I'd go into other kind of interventions where they would be using acupuncture with electrical stimulation, the electrical stimulation I had turned up at times all the way to the max. So I didn't understand why I couldn't handle this pain. And then I stood up and I felt really off. And they walked me over to the doctor, the optometrist, and he looked at me and was like, yeah, this isn't normal. And I said to him, I'm having an autonomic response. And he goes, indeed, you are. And he said, can I do something? Can I get you water? So he gets me a glass of water, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what is wrong with me? And maybe there's a bunch of people out there that have had the same experience where they go, why is this such a big deal? This shouldn't be this big of a deal. And they can't figure out why. And it's not like we always can. But the standard response that, oh, this is just part of your post-traumatic stress, that's garbage. Because that doesn't help anybody. You can't settle that in your head. Now, it might be that we don't find it. And that's okay. But if it's possible that you can figure it out, then your cognition can line up with your body. And that alarm system that's ringing off the hook, that your cognition is trying to go, what is the matter? Why is the alarm system running? Then if you can understand it, and your thoughts then line up with your body, it actually only takes 3 minutes for you to metabolize adrenaline. Only 3 minutes. And when that lines up again, then your body will let go. And so I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh, I know what happened. This reminded me of when I had PRK done. That's the type of laser eye surgery that I had done. And I said to the doctor that was with me, and after I came out of that room and the numbing wore off, I felt like chickens had pecked my eyeballs out. And that pain, this reminded me too much of that pain. And the doctor said something that just, in the moment, settled me right down. He said, Jeremy, I'm glad those days are over. And I went, wow. Are you an optometrist or a psychiatrist? That's what I was thinking on the inside. Because he's right. I am here. I am now. I'm not where I was before, and those things are over. And as I figured out where the trigger was coming from, and as the doctor gave me this message, within 3 minutes I was settled and I was fine. And I actually asked for the technician that had done the work to come in, and I was able to articulate to them, hey, this is what happened for me, so that they could be aware when I came back the next time what was happening. And then as I started to drive away, I went, oh, yeah, the pain was part of it. It's actually the smell of burnt dog hair. I will never forget that. Smelling my eyes burn when they used that laser on me to correct my vision. And truly understanding and knowing where that came from. And now I'm not going to avoid the treatment, because it's only been hours after the treatment and after the doctor had expressed the glands to get them moving right. and my eyes feel already so much better. And the doctor said one other thing to me. He said, the injury that happened and caused your dryness was from a laser, but this laser is going to fix that. And now I can relate to this experience in a new way, and it doesn't have to traumatize me again. I can invite that pain into my life knowing that there's a reason for it. It's not just hurting me, it's healing me. And I hope that this message can be something that people can connect with and that might be helpful for you. So this is Jeremy Alcorn signing off. Thank you for joining us today. We hope that this message has been as meaningful to you as it has been to us. If you're looking for help, you can find us on Facebook at Humanizing Mental Health.